Here's the most important thing. Here's the most important thing to understand about the nationwide roundup of pedophiles from Pennsylvania to Los Angeles, California, to the impending indictment of Anthony Weiner for child pornography. This is all part of the Trump effect as the directives going out. It doesn't matter how big they are or what it does to the government or how damaging it is in the news media. The gloves are off with pedophiles and the pedophile network in this country. And this is all part of President Trump and the new era that's dawning as we take on these truly satanic forces that represent the Democratic Party and some of their infiltrators inside of the Republican Party. Worldwide, we're dealing with very, very sick, evil people. And that's why the globalists are allied with radical Islam. Here we are, February 1st, 2017, already well into this new year. President Trump's been in for, 11, 12 days. And we've got a new Supreme Court nominee who they've confirmed unanimously 10 years ago and who looks like he'll be able to be seated, just victory after victory, who is as conservative and strict constructionist, pro-gun, pro-sovereignty as Antonin Scalia. So very, very exciting. A protege, a friend of Scalia. Pull up photos of the two hunting together. This is a big victory. This is a big, big deal. Also, we have a Democrat congresswoman from Hawaii coming out, joining Trump and pointing out that she went to Syria, met with Assad, saw what ISIS and al-Qaeda are doing, and that Obama is very evil and Hillary are for helping try to overthrow that regime. So more and more you see people doing the right thing and standing up for what's right. This is a big, big, big deal. And Dr. Jerome Corsi got from Israeli sources. I began to report that it was Israel that was going to nominate. No, Israel, talking to other countries, has supported, but it was brought to them. I've now got the full communication. He's now talked to them on the phone. This came from high-level Israeli intelligence right up at the top of the government. This is going to be announced soon. But we brought it to you so quickly. Of course, he was so excited that we didn't get to the rest of the story that Israel's happy to support it, but it was not actually progenerated by Israel. But Rob New's getting those clips together to put that out as well. Why not give him a peace prize? If they gave Obama one for starting all these wars and being at war every day, calling for peace with Russia, calling for peace through strength, calling for wiping out ISIS and al-Qaeda that's been used as a globalist, Islamist invasion force, Merkel opening up Germany. I mean, all this madness. Leanne, I've asked the guys to put this together. I know they've been busy. I don't know if they've ever given it to us in the file. But I've got women saying Allah Akbar here in the U.S., in Germany, putting hijabs on, the signs saying put hijabs on, the people leading the march in D.C. for Soros being Islamicist with connections to Hamas that say women's rights is Sharia law. This is so upside down bizarro when he's barring people from Somalia and Sudan where they sell women on slave blocks in the town square. ISIS sells women into sex slavery as young as 5. But that's okay because it's religious and the left loves Islam. I don't understand why the left is in such a love fest with it. And is it surreal for you as a woman to hear America's bad to women and the West is bad to women and then to see all this?
Right. Well, I know Owen Schroyer was actually out at a rally the other day and a woman was actually, or actually that might have been Joe Biggs, but she was actually explaining to him Sharia law is in line with the Constitution. So now that's the new fake news, the alternative facts, that Sharia law is just as good as the Constitution.
Oh, they were telling me all this. I have all this on tape. I want to put a compilation together. Yeah. I mean, I know I shot hours of live footage out there, but I've got it all on tape. You go out there, they'll tell you. So I really want our reporters to go out and talk to these people and document that, yes, we're an Islamic movement. We want to take over, and we're in command.
And we want everyone to believe that Sharia law is compliant with the Constitution. And that's why we should be able to practice it here. And, you know, forget about the female genital mutilation. One of the founders there of leading the Women's March, she was all for the female genital mutilation. Actually, a woman who had survived that and is speaking out against it. Laura Sarsour, she actually said, you know, I wish I could just take her entire vagina away. She's, you know, bad for women. Like these are the people that the left is propping up as their leaders for their new movement.
It's like Uma Abedin. I mean, her mother wrote the book, literally the paper law on how the right of women is to have their genitals cut off. See, it's a good thing. Stockholm Syndrome. This is crazy land. And now, we first reported from our NYPD sources and had other guests on that had similar sources, like Doug Hagman from the Northeast Intelligence Network, that indeed Weiner was being investigated and the child porn had been found on his phone. That is now in the news yesterday and today. And they're saying, well, it's just, you know, underage girls and him sending stuff to them. Is that really that bad? Look, of course, this is just the tip of the iceberg. They don't want to prosecute him because it opens up a whole labyrinth of what's going on in D.C.
Well,
and
obviously,
New York. And right here where I'm sitting in Los Angeles.
well, obviously the Clintons didn't think it was that bad. Pedo Island there with Epstein, you know, so it's just underage girls, you know. And that's the thing is, where is the outrage? Where are all these women protesting when you see ISIS taking the Yazidi girls, 5,000 plus women abducted, turned into sex slaves, tortured, mutilated, have all their female rights.
One 6-year-old girl in Syria was, quote, raped to death by over 100 men.
Right. Where's the outrage there? And the outrage knowing that it was President Obama and his administration that was in charge of all this, calling them the JV team. No outrage there for these women that are suffering under this brutal regime.
Well, I mean, look, they want to abuse women. They are the party of death and destruction along with the Republican leadership. And so they always claim they're resisting what they're involved in. That's why so many Homeland Security deputy heads end up getting caught being pedophiles by people that are good inside Homeland Security. We're dealing with a satanic network of pedophiles. And again, we can put the article on screen. Just type in Anthony Weiner being investigated for child pornography. They're looking at indictments right now. That's all over the New York newspapers. And they're saying, let's be easy on him. Kind of like Salon has articles promoting pedophilia. So this is the new civil right. And again, just like they want to teach your 5-year-old how to be a tranny, they're going to next want to teach your 5-year-old, hey, your 5-year-old's allowed to go on a date, you know, with somebody like Anthony Weiner. They're allowed to love. That's what NAMBLA says. They want to have kids as young as 3 out of your backyard. If they see the van and they say, we have candy, we have puppies, I'm serious, that your child has a right to go because of love, little hearts.
Right.
That's why they dress up in teddy bear outfits when they rape the kids. They just busted a big ring of these people in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is one of the worst states, folks. Just hardcore pedophilia going on there. I know folks that have lived in Pennsylvania that personally said they knew the DuPonts well. Satanism, pedophilia. It's just rampant, ladies and gentlemen. Leanne?
Yeah, and to think that they're actually trying to label pedophilia as a different type of sexual orientation, that it's totally normal. We're so accepting, we're so loving of all these different gender orientations and, you know, whatever anyone's into,
They're just
live and let
scrambling
live.
it all.
Pedophilia is next in line for acceptance. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. Owen's got a story here where there's...
well, this just broke today, and I just got the story. I haven't really been able to look into it too much, but the headline from KTLA, 474 arrested, 28 sexually exploited children rescued during statewide human trafficking operation.
So this is in California.
So this is actually out there in L.A. where you're at, Alex.
And think about it. They had the 1,000+ people that were on the list, pedophiles actually on the list there who were fostering children. 1,000+ names.
You covered that.
And let's be clear. There is a cult. And it's battled good guys and bad guys in government. Government's not the enemy. It's unconstitutional government's the enemy. There are literal pedophile rings. They just busted one in Pennsylvania. Just type in The Shining image of man in teddy bear outfit. And it's non-pornographic, but it shows where she's seeing the ghost, you know, having a psychic event of what happened that was evil in the hotel, and it was rich men abusing children. And that's what the whole Shining's about. That's what Stanley Kubrick was telling the public is the elite are into pedophilia. It's wrong. It's evil. It's bad. And I was even told by folks in the family that he was aware of this and trying to expose it. And again, they dress up in these teddy bear outfits when they rape the kids. And again, just absolutely giant rings of these people at Penn State, you name it. And there's a civil war right now in the government trying to roll up these pedophile rings. And I want to explain. It's psychic vampirism. Whether you believe in the spiritual realm or other dimensions, they've been proven to be accurate by mathematicians now and high power radio telescopes and spectrometers and other devices. And that's why they're like, we found other dimensions. There's something behind it. There's something projecting this. There's other things coming in and out. They're now picking it up, okay? But there's bad stuff in the universe that wants to take the energy of a child, a seedling, that's supposed to learn and grow and have free will and all these experiences in the universe and traumatize them. And it leads through pedophilia, right through torturing and the murder of children. That's why all major psychopaths that actually get caught say, I was doing it because the devil told me, demons told me, I was doing it for them. And then, well, that's just the psychology of these people. No, it's every culture has these people, and they don't live forever, but they are basically cultural and psychic vampires. So when you go look at a leftist event and they look like they've had half their blood sucked and they look like they're dying, it's because even if they're not out raping kids, they're under a spirit of the vampire.
Right.
And so everything in them is sucked and empty and horrible and cold and depressed, and their god is the state, the king vampire, Count Dracula, the dragon, as the Bible calls it. It's all allegories of this, and they're begging him for power. And he says, hurt them, take over. Right. The children are yours, dominate them, and I will fulfill you. So this is satanic. Now, that's the big secret. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Leanne.
no, I agree. The spiritual warfare, whatever this dark energy that's kind of controlling this planet, it feeds off of fear. It feeds off of torture. So whenever
and who
you
has
see
the greatest fear? Children,
right,
terrified, begging in a subterranean pit, raped and tortured for months.
So when you see like the drug cartels chopping off people's limbs and heads and torture, the dark energy, that's what it feeds off of. That's what it needs to continue controlling this planet, which is why, you know, you're always talking about how important it is for us to tap into our humanity, to trust our gut instincts, to be able to feel that and trust our emotions. But we don't even know, you know, how to trust ourselves anymore because our human instincts have been exploited. And presently we're seeing that rolling out with this election cycle, how everything is ramped up to 11. Everything that Donald Trump does, it's just devastating. It's went straight to Hitler level, you know? So everyone is just all...
Oh, and he fired the AG a Monday night. CNN had the headline, the Monday Night Massacre, unprecedented evil. It's just the most horrible thing ever. We're going to go to break, and I want to get Owen's take on that as well as Leanne's when we come back. Then we've got some other stories we're going to be hitting on that Leanne and Owen have. And then I'm going to air Oprah Winfrey, the truth about Oprah Winfrey, special report. You know, it's powerful. She supports the global depopulation program on a planetary scale. We'll be right back. I'm Alex Jones, Infowars.com. Spread that link. They're trying to censor it, and this is an info war, a war on for our minds. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say, see, I told you so, that communist Chinese-style net censorship was coming to the web, because it's already here. It's being announced. The way you keep the internet open and free is you get involved more than ever. Go to Infowars.com/app. A new battleship in the fight. Infowars Live, available right now. We're looking for a crew to man it. You going to sit down and play games and be a trendy? Or are you going to be part of history? Don't sit by and let the internet and free speech be stolen from you. Take action.